Hello and welcome to MumbleCast, the oddly structured, poorly researched podcast extravaganza. My name is Liam, as always I'm here with my co-host, Kayla.
Hi.
Hello Kayla, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm well, thank you. How was your day been?
It's been good. I didn't really do very much because there was a really bad thunderstorm.
Wow, just go straight into it. Fine, alright, cool.
What did you do?
Well, I worked because there wasn't a thunderstorm, and then I went to the gym, and when I got to the gym, then a thunderstorm started.
Yes.
And it was quite a big thunderstorm then.
Yeah, it was.
Like, it just, switched.
Like, automatically, man, this really is just jumping right into it. It's funny because Drake was just showing me a video of, I don't remember what it was called, but where, like, all of a sudden a cloud just, like, dumps a lot of rain. Uh-huh. And I feel like that's what happened. Like, we were just sitting there, and then it was like, all right, now it's a torrential downpour. But
it didn't even look like, well, it looked a little bit like it was going to rain, but it just didn't. But I didn't expect it on the way home. And I was at the gym halfway through my workout, halfway through coaching, and it just like, whoosh, and it just like, as you said, just dumped. And then lightning, and then the lights started flashing on and off.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Yeah, we lost power.
Because we closed the shutters as well, because the rain was coming in, and then it went dark, and everyone was like middle of a workout, like, ugh. Thankfully, it came back on again quite quickly. But Houston's weather's crazy in that sense. Like, we get rain back home. Britain's very known for rain and like overcast and dull weather. But we don't actually get as much rain as you get here. Like, it rains almost every day here, it feels. Especially during the summer.
Yeah.
And even during the winter, it still rains quite a lot.
I guess.
You know, and
I think that maybe we get more like inches wise, because it like I feel like when it rains here, it rains hard. But even in Amsterdam, when it rained, it would be like a mist almost.
Yeah.
And it's just that annoying mist that soaks you eventually. But
yeah, you get that real tropical rain.
Yeah.
It just sort of absolutely drenches you for like an hour, less than sometimes, and then that's it.
Yep.
And then you've got like the rest of your whatever going on.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it's something that I haven't been too used to. And it's like, when I first came here, we got Hurricane Harvey, which was crazy. And it's this extreme weather, which you don't really, and Britain's like the what's that phrase when you talk about something that's just very bland? It's the, I don't know, white bread.
The blandest?
Yeah, it's the blandest, like, it's the white bread of sandwiches. It's you know, the margarita of pizzas. It's just bleh.
Hey, no, margarita pizza's pretty good.
Yeah, and Britain's pretty good, but there's no spice to it. There's no flair. You know, we are the basic bitches of
Are you a pumpkin spice latte?
I'm not. I don't know. I don't have a PSL. So, ugh. And by the way, why are they out already?
Are they?
Yeah, already. They came out this week. I was like,
I don't like them.
October's like ages away.
A month.
Yeah, well, yeah.
1 month.
But, I don't know. It's not fall yet, I don't think.
Well, not here. But that's because fall here doesn't start until like November, and then it lasts for like 3 days, and then winter's 2 days, and then it's back to summer again.
Actually, it was quite cold a lot last year.
I know. I froze.
But again, that's another thing that I don't understand, the weather. Well, I do understand it, but the seasons, I guess it all depends on where you are.
Yeah.
Which kind of takes us very nicely on today's topic.
Perfect.
What we're talking about today?
Different weather phenomenon.
Was that a thing here? It was. Did you ever have the biscuits called BNs?
No.
They're like wee square biscuits that had weird faces on them. And for their adverts, they also did BN. I think everyone just knows that from the Muppets.
Yeah,
was it something
that's where
before
I
the
know
Muppets?
It from. I have no idea. I only know it from the Muppets.
Anyways, get sidetracked. Yeah, we're talking about extreme weather phenomenon. Cool. All right, in that case, let's get ready to mumble. All right, so tell me something.
Okay, so it's less extreme weather phenomenon. Well, some of them are, but it's more just like Okay. It's just kind of like interesting ones, like peculiar ones that are pretty rare.
Are we sticking to weather or like natural phenomenons that happen with like, and it seems like the weather?
Most of it is like atmospheric.
Because a borealis is not weather.
It is. Well, it pertains to weather.
I thought it pertains to like how the light goes through the atmosphere.
Yeah, through like. Well, I don't remember. We have to get to that one.
Okay, so I'm jumping in.
Yes. So all this started when last week Drake and I were in Costa Rica.
Okay.
And we looked up, and there's this like
into
ring.
The sky.
Yes, into the sky. And there's this ring of like it's like a rainbow halo around the sun.
Uh-huh.
And Drake was convinced that Thanos was coming to Earth.
Oh, yeah, send me a picture. We'll post this.
like a portal.
Instagram at the MumbleCast.
Huh?
Yep. I'm just telling the listeners to go to at MumbleCast to see his picture, which we'll post after this.
Yes, we will. I texted his brother, and he suggested it was like smoke or something like that, like a haze. Yeah, I don't know. So, anyway, that'll be the first one that I talk about. So, it's a halo around the sun. Yeah, you should Google these as we do them because they're pretty cool. Guys, you Google them too. I'll post the halo, but I can't post all of them. So, halos around the sun they form due to ice crystals. A rainbow is just like the sun's rays going through moisture, but this is when it goes through ice crystals, and that's being refracted in the sun's rays in the upper atmosphere. They can also form around the moon or like bright stars or planets. So it's anything that like where there's ice crystals around it and light's refracting through it, it can cause that halo around it. Do you see a picture of it?
Right. I'm sure I didn't look for it, but what did you say the phenomenon was called?
A halo around the sun.
Oh, it's just called that?
Yeah.
It's not really a name, is it?
No. Some of these don't really have very much name, like good names, but
Very much names.
Halo around the sun.
And that happens when light reflects through the
Ice crystals.
So how have you got ice crystals in Costa Rica?
No idea.
Because all the pictures I'm seeing are up in like the mountains somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. And it only happened that one day. And it was like pretty overcast and cloudy that day to start. Mm-hmm. And then as it got like brighter in the afternoon, it kind of went away. So I don't know if it's like, I don't know.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was, I'd never seen anything like it before. And it made the full circle all the way around it. In like a rainbow.
Huh. And what time of day was it?
Like 10 o'clock.
Okay, so it wasn't quite zenith. Is that when it's up half like the middle of the day?
I don't know what that means.
I think that means when it's at like the top of its peak at that point in time of the year. I say that as though I know it. I'm just looking at this picture that says that. Okay, so that was the weird phenomenon, and that's one I've never seen, but it's seen all around the world.
Yeah.
It just depending on the circumstances.
Yep.
That's kind of cool. And it just literally looks like a white halo.
No, it's like a rainbow halo.
Oh, it's rainbow style.
Yeah,
I thought it was just
rainbow.
like okay. That's kind of cool. Oh, so so is that same as a rainbow? It's just light reflecting. Well, it is. You said
it's but it's specifically through ice.
So when we get a rainbow, why is it only a half arc and it's like from side to side?
I think it's because it's through water. Like maybe it's because I don't know. I didn't look that part up, but I think like
you didn't look up rainbow.
Maybe it's because I know it's because it's refracting through the water, but maybe because it's ice, there's like a double bounce or something, and that's why it makes the full.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We probably should look into that.
I'm just wondering why, like, because if it's like the full versus that, like, it's definitely moisture, like that's what causes it. But rainbow is definitely just water, and the halo is ice. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if obviously the full circle is because it's ice, but I wonder if it's because it's refracting like double, since ice is solid.
I don't know why that would make it half though.
It'd make it full.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
Yeah, so the rainbow would be water, so it would just be one time through because it's not solid. So.
Oh, so you think it's going into this and reflecting
back,
off,
and that's what might be making the other half.
Okay, I guess that's most likely. Yeah, I don't know.
I feel pretty smart. I don't know if I just made that up, but I feel
so.
Pretty smart.
It says here, the upper atmosphere or the upper troposphere is almost always below freezing, and ice crystals displays can be seen year round. And they can be seen in July and during the colder years. And United States see some of the great ones, mostly common in fall and winter and spring. So it's maybe quite rare for you to see it now. When the northern jet stream descends southwards down towards the Arctic air masses. And then you get the jewel-like ice prisms, as they refer to them here.
Okay.
So that's kind of cool. So it was very much time of year a little bit, and exactly what you said about the crystals. Mm-hmm. Huh, cool. Yeah. Do you have any other, like, static phenomenon?
What
well, like, okay, talk about colours in the sky then, because we can talk about some like the more devastating weather things.
Okay.
But
so moonbows are the same thing as a rainbow. It's just reflecting off. It's like with the moon. So you can have a rainbow at night. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Moonbow.
So it's called a moonbow. Yeah. You should Google these because they're really cool to like. Them. To see.
Why have I never heard of a moonbow?
But it's just when the moon is shining on like the moisture post rain. These are obviously a lot more rare to see. They're
so they're like a rainbow, so it's not quite a halo.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the halo can reflect on, like, the halo can be on moon and, like, the moon and bright stars too. But moonbow is, like, specifically like a rainbow.
It's a double moonbow.
Ooh.
Which is the full halo. No, wait, that's a lie. Okay. So basically a moonbow is basically a rainbow, but using the light from the moon rather than the light from the sun.
And it has to be around a full moon and then, like, around 2 to 3 hours either after sunset or before sunrise. Okay,
so yeah, it's a dusk at dawn. Mm-hmm. Because that's when you're getting it coming round the Earth a little bit to create that sort of...
Yeah, and a lot of them, like, most of the pictures I saw and most of what I read, like, what I learned was they're more common near places with waterfalls.
Do you think it's because there's more water for it to reflect off?
Probably.
Yeah. I wonder what people used to think of these things. Like, even rainbows and moonbows and halos around the sun, they must have, like, worshipped them or had some sort of weird thing back in the day. Because we can explain it now quite easily, but back then people must have been like, especially those who like worship the sun gods and stuff. Imagine like you just reacting to that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It'd be weird, especially if it happened like the same time every year. You'd end up relating it to something that you do at that time of year anyway. Interesting. Yeah. Okay, so we've got rainbows, we've got sunbows, we've got sun halos.
Sunbows. So we have a few more of like the colors and like the images type things, and then we'll get on to more.
Did you look into red sky at night, shepherds of light, red sky in the morning, shepherds warning?
No.
Oh. I think that's just basically sun rays going through the atmosphere and creating different colours. And depending on the pressure, it's meant to give you a different colour, and that's what creates. Anyway, okay, so what else did you look at then?
So there's something called the Belt of Venus. So that's this one just kind of looks like a really pretty sunset to me.
Okay.
But it's when there's a band of pinkish or brownish sky that's between the sky, like you have the sky and the horizon, and you have like a band of pinkish or brownish sky.
So it's like a layer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's only visible at sunset and sunrise. And then usually you have a better chance of seeing it if you're on higher ground.
And what is it?
Okay. So it's like the Earth's shadow.
Earth's shadow. Huh. Interesting. So what's an alpine glow? Do you have that?
No.
So it says, like alpine glow, the backscatter of reddened sunlight also creates this belt of Venus. So I don't know what that is.
Okay.
The sun refracted by the fine particles that cause the rosy arch of the belt hovers high in the atmosphere and persists long after the sunset or sunrises. Mm-hmm. So I think it's very similar to the red sky in the morning. So basically it is a red sky in the morning type thing. It's the refraction of the sunlight through the particles in the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. That's kind of cool. I wonder why they called it the Venus belt. I think it's because people think Venus is really red and stuff.
Yeah, probably.
Oh, apparently, so the name of the phenomenon alludes to the cestius, a girdle or breastband of the ancient Greek goddess Aphrodite, customarily related or equated with the Roman goddess of Venus.
Okay.
Since the greatest elongation, blah, 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 blah. Very cool.
Yeah.
So I think I've probably seen that, and I didn't even know I've seen that.
For sure, yeah. Like in the pictures, I'm like, oh, that's just a sunset, like a sunset or a sunrise. But I think that it actually isn't. There's one on here in a few minutes that
but so
I really want to see.
That doesn't cover the whole sky. It's literally just that kind of 10-degree band.
Yeah.
So it does look like a separation. Mm-hmm. Okay, that maybe was a bit more rare than I think, because the alpine glow is like what we see when we get that full sky coverage. Mm-hmm. Okay, nice.
Yeah, so this is just like that little part.
Yeah. Huh. That's cool. Yeah. All right, what else we got?
Aurora Borealis. Or just auroras in general.
This is such a hard word to say, I find.
Yeah.
Aurora.
Borealis.
Aurora. Is 2 R's there, right?
Yeah.
Aurora. Borealis.
Yeah.
So I can never say it when I'm just like saying it. And then I always relate to that South Park episode when they had it. Was it South Park? When they had the Aurora Borealis, but they put the... What was the guy's name? The guy who played Angel.
I don't know. I never watched South Park. Angel and Bones?
Yeah, who's the guy who played that? Wow. What's his name? Something Borealis, basically. So they put him in the sky, and he was talking. I think it was South Park.
I don't remember. I liked him a lot.
Yeah, he was a good guy. we're also known as the Northern Lights.
Yes.
I think you get it elsewhere than just the north. So
You do.
So tell me about that. What's that?
So it's charged particles from the sun that have reached the Earth's upper atmosphere and gotten really excited. So it's like gas particles.
Yeah, we reached the top.
Yes. So the gas particles, they like enter the atmosphere and collide with the solar winds, and I think that's why like it's more common at the poles and stuff. And they create like these tinted lights, and then they move.
So the tinted lights again, just from like the sun reflecting through them, and it's the gases that have come from where? Sorry, it's come from the Earth. They've gone up rather than so they've gone up and they've interfered with the solar rays. You said. Okay, and that can be seen mainly in the North and South poles.
Yep, and then so there's the Aurora Borealis. That's the Northern Lights, and then there's Aurora Australis, viewed in like New Zealand and the Falkland Islands.
Huh.
South.
Okay, yeah. And have you ever seen them?
No.
I think you can, like on like a really clear day. And if it's happening a lot, you can see it at the top of Scotland at times, but like very faint. Mm-hmm. Because some of this just looks like neon lights. It does look really cool.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those things that everybody kind of says, "Oh, I'd love to go see that at some point."
I would like to see it. We were going to go see it one time, and then we just never.
Like just looking at it looks amazing. Imagine you lived like in Alaska, where this happened probably quite frequently, or in Norway or something. It does look super cool.
Mm-hmm. I'd like to go see it.
Oh, so it is a specific time of year when a solar flare creates some sort of gaseous thing coming in. Okay. Mm-hmm. That's cool. Guys, if you've ever seen Aurora Borealis, send us some pictures on Instagram. That'd be quite cool for us to see. Or tag us in them. That'd be kind of gnarly.
Yeah, it would.
Especially with some of the landscapes, because it's always cool landscapes at these places. It's never like
ice and snow and mountains. And that'd be cool. Let us see them.
So that isn't so much weather-based, is it? It's just something that happens in the sky, really.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Because if it's coming from a specific sun thing, and I mean, like...
So a lot of these are based on, like, rain.
Yeah. That's true. Well, is this one? This one's not really based on rain,
is it? Not. This one's just, like, the atmosphere. Yeah. And, like, atmospheric pressure.
Magnetic sphere caused by solar wind. Or disturbances to the magnetic sphere caused by solar wind. That's cool. Alright, what else we got? Any more colours?
Potentially down here, but I don't want to get too far out of my list.
What's the coolest colours you see? I've seen rainbows. I've seen double rainbows.
Yeah.
Don't want to brag, but I have. That's about it. And then we have quite commonly coloured skies in the UK. Not so much here. We have some, but not as common, I feel, here as there in the UK. But we're obviously at a higher angle. Yeah. Being where we are on the Earth. Alright, what's next?
I'll keep going with colors then. We have sun pillars.
Pillars?
Yeah, so that's like almost like a sunrise, but like straight up. Huh? So it's when the sun is it's a sunset. So it's the setting sun reflects off of high icy clouds at different layers.
Oh, cool.
Or it's like a sunrise or a sunset. Yeah, it's just like a vertical shaft of sunlight, and it's like the light is reflecting on the falling ice crystals in like the thin high level clouds.
So that's basically, you've got, it reflects on them and it just sends it in one direction. Mm-hmm. Rather than it scattering everywhere, it's just been focused. Mm-hmm. It's like putting a light through a magnifying glass and it kind of focuses that kind of wee beam in that wee spot. It's similar to that. Okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
You can see them in Canada. Oh, and you can have multiple at a time. It's not just necessarily one.
I didn't see the multiple.
Well, there's a picture here. I think it looks like it's multiple.
Oh, yeah.
But it looks upside down as well, so I'm not quite sure what that is. Looks like it's coming from the ground. Or maybe it would come from the ground, I don't know. Yeah, guys, look up sun pillars as well. You know what, just have Google open and just kind of follow as we talk about these. That's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not, it can also be from other bright light sources. So you can get them from like bright lights in a city at times as well. So the sun's obviously being the big one, and that will often come down, or if it's rising, it'll come up. But if you've got like a big light source in a city,
that could be one
you could see it from there as well, which that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I guess, why wouldn't you? And that's where I think those three that we saw, that picture I showed you.
That's probably them.
That's probably them, yeah. Nice. Man, how maybe you probably have. I probably have seen some of these things. I just didn't know I'd seen them.
For sure, or you didn't know what you were looking for.
Light pillar or sun pillar. That's cool. All right, what else we got?
Okay, this one's pretty cool. It's called a fire rainbow.
What's a sundog? Sorry, I'm just thinking a thing. It says sun halos, sun pillars, and sundogs.
I don't know what a sundog is.
Sundogs are coloured spots of light that develop due to the refraction of light through ice crystals. They are located approximately 22 degrees either left, right, or both from the sun, depending on where the ice crystals are present. The colours usually go from red closest to the sun out to blue on the outside of the sundog. Sundogs are also known as mock suns or perihelia, which means with the sun. So I think it's like small sun, like replica looking suns.
That's cool.
And I guess sundogs because maybe it's like a dog would be walking beside you.
Yeah.
I'm going to Google that. See that. So
That sounds
you
really
feel
cool.
like you're on Tatooine with multiple suns. Okay, so it's like, you know, the sun halo we spoke about?
Yeah.
It's like at the edges of them, it having a bright light.
Okay.
Which is, it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It almost looks like you're looking through a lens or something.
Yeah.
You'd get a sort of flare of the lens. That'd be cool to see in real life, though.
Yeah, it would.
Like, if you were back in ancient days and you believed in a sun god, that'd be trippy.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's done, these are all snow pictures. So this will be at the top of the earth.
Yeah.
Yellowknife, where's that, in Alaska or something?
I don't know.
Yeah. That's cool. Anyway, sorry. I
You're
interrupted.
good.
Carry on.
No, you're good. Fire rainbows.
Fire rainbows.
Yes.
Oh, man.
So these are extremely rare. So these occur when the sun is high, and it allows its light to pass through high altitude cirrus clouds with high content of ice crystals. So it's rare because it takes the right type of cloud, the right angle from the sun, and ice crystals to be aligned in that in order for it to form. So basically, it's like a straight across rainbow, like almost looking thing. And so it says that the best chance of seeing this is in the United States, specifically LA, where the sun shines at the right angle for 670 hours between late March and late September.
There's one I'm looking at here. It's like super. It literally just looks like a streak of fire across the
I see.
earth. It's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's in Scotland apparently. South Lanarkshire in Scotland.
Yeah, guys, look up fire rainbow. They're cool.
Wow. I don't know if this one is actually a fire rainbow though, but it might be. But they're cool. Yeah. So that's everything cool about a rainbow, but just like in a streak rather than a curve or a bow. Yeah, it's gnarly.
All right, the next one I really want to see at some point, and I'm mad that I didn't know about this one before I went to Costa Rica.
Okay.
So this one's called the Green Ray or the Green Flash.
Green
so
Flash.
have you ever? Yes, I'm sure you've seen Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Sure.
You haven't seen it?
Oh, okay. No, I don't know if I have.
Okay, so at some point, like when the sun's setting, it does this like green flash. And that's like an actual thing. Like in the movie, I think it was like some kind of magic, where they like meant for it to be perceived as magic. But that's a reality. It actually happens. So it's an optical illusion that occurs just before the sunset or just right after the sunrise. And it's like a split second, and it's caused by light that refracts in the atmosphere, and it just is an optical illusion with your eyes. But you have to be at like have a clear view of the horizon, of the distant horizon on a clear day. And you can't be looking directly at the sun because then you'll be like blinded by the sun and miss the green flash. So
Just be sort of slightly looking off. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the ones I'm looking at here almost look like a wee tip of the sun, almost some of them look like a mushroom cloud of like a green. Yeah, that's cool. And that happens every day. Or if it's a clear day looking at it. Okay, nice.
you just have to be looking at it at the
This
right
doesn't
time.
seem as common as the other ones, or at least captured as commonly.
Well, because it's that split second. Like
Yeah.
and it also, I don't know how well a camera would capture it because it's an optical illusion. Mm-hmm. So it'd have to be like a very, very slow shutter speed to snap it.
Yeah, or really, really fast shutter speed
Yes.
to capture it.
Which
Slow,
one?
then it'd all just blur together.
Oh.
Because it takes in all the light and then
Okay.
stops.
Yes, that one. The opposite of what I
I
said.
think. I'm not sure, but it isn't. I don't know. I don't know enough of this. Because you'd catch the sun, the whole movement of the sun and all the light. I don't know.
I don't know either.
At
That's
nighttime,
another topic.
But at
we can
nighttime,
do.
you would use a large shutter speed, a slow shutter speed. So I don't know. We don't know for cameras. Okay, that's cool.
All right, last colorful
Mm-hmm.
one is sprites, jets, and elves. So I think they're I don't know if all three are different or if that's just different names for them.
What's the second word you said?
Sprites,
Jets,
and elves. Basically, it's in the upper atmosphere around thunderstorms, and they appear as cones, glows, and like discharges that last like less than a second, and it's just like a spurt of color.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've got some images of them here, but I think these might be fabricated just to demonstrate it. Huh. Why does that happen, sorry?
It's just like around thunderstorms.
Oh, okay.
Probably light reflecting off
rain
refracting
again, yeah.
off of the rain. All right, so now we're going to move into different types of clouds.
Okay.
So you have nocticulent clouds. So these refract light at dusk when the sun's already set. So it looks really cool. It looks like they're like illuminating the sky, but they don't have a light source. Mm-hmm. So it's just like illuminating in the sky.
Okay.
Clouds.
What?
Nocticulent cloud. Noctilucent clouds. Noctilucent.
I've already misspelt it. Oh, it's gone to nautical man clouds. Oh no, nautical man clothing. Oof.
They're the result of ice crystals reflecting the sunlight after sunset, and they only appear in latitudes between 50 and 70 degrees north and south of the equator during summer months. So they like that.
Okay.
They're like wispy.
These ice crystals play tricks on us.
They do.
Yeah.
It's all about the ice crystals.
All about the ice crystals.
The other ones are called mammatus clouds. And they look like almost like just like round like balls of clouds.
Okay.
And they are formed from like at thunderstorms. Again, it's just rain. Huh. So they look like that.
Oh, okay. So it's like really so imagine like really, really curvy clouds that look like pillows, basically, and like the perfect curves to them. So not like a big sort of massive clouds. You're thinking like a real curve to it, and a big curve, not like the ones you draw or the ones from Mario, like a big and nice, like zooming in close on something curvy. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
It's a great explanation.
It's that looks pretty cool actually. I was not expecting this when you spoke about weather. I'm going to be honest, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. This is all stuff I didn't know, so this is good.
I'm getting into other weather things, but I forgot how this.
That's all right. It's 30 minutes, so we don't necessarily have to do too much.
Oh, we have a couple more.
I know, but I don't want this to go on an hour.
We have a couple more.
Okay, fine. Colored ones.
Huh?
Colored ones.
No more colors.
Okay.
Fire whirls.
Fire whirls.
Yes.
I feel like you're just making up things from like World of Warcraft.
No, fire whirls.
How do you spell worlds?
Not worlds, whirls.
Again.
Like twisty. WHIRL.
WHIRL. A whirl.
Yeah.
Whirl.
You're pronouncing
not
the
whirl.
H.
Whirl.
You don't pronounce the H.
You do on whirl.
Okay. So
like whip.
This is when a tornado spins too close to a wildfire.
Okay.
So it's exactly cool. What you would think it is. It's a tornado that picks up fire and spins it around.
Okay, that's the coolest one so far.
Crazy.
Bad because it's happening during a fire. But so it only happens when a tornado and fire meet.
Yes.
So the chances are really slim.
I don't know. Because apparently especially the wildfires in California, New Zealand, and Australia, they're really prone to them actually.
Huh.
Because it can also
it makes sense though.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah. So that one
looks a bit more. Well, yeah. Do you think that helps put out the fire?
I don't think so.
Because it just sucks the fire away. Yeah, but it just sucks it away from the fuel. Because it needs three things. It needs heat, fuel, and oxygen.
Yeah.
So if it takes it away from the fuel, which would be the grass or whatever.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. So what's crazy. A tornado?
A really fast wind is when hot and cold air meet and they start spinning.
Is this not on your list?
A tornado? That's not a crazy weather phenomenon.
It is if you don't live in tornado land in America.
Okay, well this one is.
You know how many tornadoes I know of I've ever seen?
I haven't seen any either. But I have seen this next one.
I have seen a movie of tornadoes called Twister.
I've seen this next one.
And it's like
It's called a water spout.
A water spout?
Yes, so that's a water tornado.
Okay, have I seen this? I think I might have seen pictures of this, but I don't think I've actually seen this.
So,
water spout. No, what do you call it?
Water spout. So they're typically less, like, weaker than tornadoes, but can still be really dangerous. There's, like, they bring the high wind, the hail, the dangerous lightning, all of that on or close to water. So when we were in St. George Island in Florida, a really bad storm came through. And so, like, in order to get to St. George Island, you have to cross this one bridge. And, like, that's the only way out to the island. And, like, that's what supplies the power. And a water spout hit and knocked out all the power on the island for days.
Damn.
Yeah. So that was scary. It was a super bad storm.
And that's just when you got, like, a whirlwind of air bringing up the water spray. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
It's a tornado on the water. Like, legit tornado on the water.
Uh-huh. Huh.
Yeah. And then...
Can you get them in lakes and stuff then?
I
guess you must be able to.
Maybe, yeah, probably. I think the answer...
They're cool. I can't tell what I prefer, a water spout or a fire whirl.
A fire swirl, whirl?
Fire or water spout. I think I prefer the water spout because it looks cool.
Yeah, it was pretty scary though. So tornadoes are rapidly rotating columns of air that are in contact with both the earth and a cumulonimbus cloud. And that's what makes them spin.
Huh. And, alright, so I'm going to put you on the spot here.
Yes.
You've got tornadoes, which are always on land, because that's connected to the land and the air. And it is a visible, clear, kind of small radius twisting of air. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And why is it twisting?
Because it's in contact with the earth and the cloud.
Okay, so tornado, what then is a hurricane? Because I have a cool fact about hurricanes, but I want to know what a hurricane is from you. Well, not a cool fact, just something I learned recently.
So I thought a hurricane was just a really big storm that was on the water.
Well, I'm sure there must be a specific type of like description of why a hurricane is, what makes it a hurricane rather than something else.
I thought it was just like really fast winds that made it a hurricane.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
I don't know.
You don't know?
No. Do you know?
Let's see. Well, the interesting information I was going to say initially is something I learned about actually earlier this week, or last week, is that the hurricane is only used when the storm happens in the Atlantic or North Pacific. Mm-hmm. If it happens in the Northwest Pacific, it's called a typhoon.
Okay.
And a cyclone happens in the South Pacific or the Indian Ocean. So they're all the same thing. They're just called different depending on where on the earth it starts or it's located.
Because I've always wondered what makes like typhoon season or like a typhoon or whatever versus hurricanes and this location.
In North America, you mainly only ever get hurricanes out to Hawaii, and then beyond Hawaii, essentially, that's when you start getting typhoons. So in like Japan and that area, and then when you move into the Indian Ocean, so near India and Sri Lanka and stuff, that would be a cyclone.
Okay.
Kind of cool.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so, another thing I learned about, podcasts are great for learning about things, because I know this is not really anything to do with what we were talking about, but there is, so the whole phenomenon about people used to say, if you flush the toilet, it would spin different ways in different countries. Mm-hmm. Now, theoretically that does happen, but it's overpowered by the shape of the sink or the toilet. Okay. That takes bigger effect because that forces, right? But so the way the Earth spins, the wind, if you think the Earth is like a circle, okay?
But I thought it was flat.
Well, okay, even flat, would it still work with flat? If it's spun, it would. But, okay, so if you think about how it spins on an axis,
okay,
the very top, if you like move a meter away from the axis, okay, that means that circumference that is moving around is moving around really slowly, because that has to do one full rotation in 24 hours, but the circumference is really small. Okay. It's if you're 1 meter away from the axis, that's a diameter of 2 meters. Yeah. And the circumference is pi d, so it's pi times that. So it's not very big. Yeah. However, if you're at the equator, which is as far away from the poles you can get before you get something close again, the equator is, I don't know how far apart. That's got a certain distance, say it's 100,000 kilometers. I think it's maybe less than that or more than that. It's got to travel that in 24 hours as well. So you're moving faster. Mm-hmm. Okay? And as you move away from the equator, you start moving slower. So that's how we get a sort of wind moving around, because technically it's moving around 24 hours, but this is moving faster, so then it has this sort of weird rotation and it cycles off. And then same on the southern hemisphere, it's still rotating, but everything starts rotating the other way. And it affects a whole heap of different things, including it would affect toilet water, because the further away you move, the spin of the Earth, you're getting the further away I walk from the equator, the slower I'm spinning in relation to the Earth. So as water moves, it will technically move at a sort of weird sort of hinge, if that makes sense, or anything, wind, air, anything. And so that's why every hurricane, cyclone, typhoon north of the equator spins anti-clockwise, and everyone spins counterclockwise. No, clockwise, or whichever way it is. It's one of the only place on Earth you will never, ever get hurricane, cyclone, typhoon, 100%, is right on the equator. Because there is no difference between the wind right on the equator. It's like dead set. So you have to be, I think this is something like a couple of degrees off for hurricane or cyclone to start, and then it'll pick up from there.
Yeah.
But if you're right on the equator, so you're like all over the Gulf, you have these hurricanes, and then as soon as you get to the equator near Colombia, wherever it is, you stop seeing hurricanes.
Yeah. And then it starts again.
Which is kind of cool.
So if you want to be safe from hurricanes, you should live on the equator.
Yeah. Exactly. And it's called the Coriolis effect. And yeah, I learned about it this week, and it's really cool.
That is very interesting.
So it's like if you were on a roundabout and you're like what are the things called you used to sit on and spin?
I don't know.
Was that roundabout?
I know what you're talking about. I just don't know what they're called.
What was that called? I can't remember. A roundabout, or even if you're on like a carousel, if you were to throw a ball at someone, if I was to look at you and try and throw it towards you, it wouldn't hit you. It'd go off like that.
Yeah.
And that's because, again,
you're moving.
The speed is different to that, and kind of changes on. But if I was off it and throw it at you, it would go straight at you.
Yeah.
Again, because the rotation of things. It's really interesting, and there's a hell of a lot more science and stuff to it. But I'm going to send you a podcast for you to listen to, because it's really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That does sound really cool.
But that's that affects hurricanes and cyclones and tornadoes.
Yeah.
And a lot of the weather phenomenon and like the pressure changes we see is the speed of the Earth in comparison to all, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's all. Sorry, you can get back to stuff.
I only have one more.
Okay, cool.
This one is really strange, though. So it's non-aqueous rain.
Non-aqueous rain, so not water rain. Frogs.
Yes. That's one of them, yeah. Like,
fish.
So there's just all these examples that they date back really far of things that aren't rain falling from the sky. So like August 1894 in England, it rained jellyfish. February 2010 in Australia, it rained fish. 2008 Colombia, it rained blood. March 1876 in Olympia Springs, U.S., it rained fresh meat.
Okay, some of them I get.
And some of them you don't. I don't get it. I don't get it, any of them, really. It rained money in one place.
No, lies.
So what they're thinking is that maybe like a tornado has picked up this stuff and like it is in a cloud and then it dumps it all out.
Huh? I guess if it picked up like a truck carrying money or something. What?
Look,
fresh meat.
Yeah.
That's strange. I get frogs on. Well, so
even frogs and fish. Why? Why would it like? Why?
One of those water spouts.
Okay, but so then same thing. The tornado.
I guess so. But in England, we don't have that sort of stuff. That doesn't happen in England.
It rained jellyfish in England.
So we must have had a water spout that picked up jellyfish, like a school of. You have a school of jellyfish, probably.
I don't know. Yeah, that's the craziest one.
That is mental.
Yeah. Can you imagine if it started raining blood?
That I don't get, that one. Because where's the source of blood?
No idea. But they tested it, and like it was legit blood.
That's a weird one.
Yeah.
That one I can't get my head around. Unless it was a big truck transporting blood.
Yeah, crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so as far as phenomenon go, the rest of them are just light refracting off things, and this is just blood. This is God stuff. So it must have happened. That's why things like the Bible make sense.
Yeah.
It's like, depending on your beliefs, blah, 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 yes, but you can say this is God creating bad stuff. What was it? The rain frogs, was it, in the Bible?
Something like that.
Because it probably could have and probably did happen.
I mean, it rained fish in Sri Lanka as recently as 2017.
Oh.
And in California in 2017.
I don't want to hear about this. I want to hear about this. Don't put all this other crap on the news. Show me that.
It rained spiders one time.
Ooh,
4 times, actually.
I don't want to know about any of that.
you don't want to see about it raining spiders in Brazil.
I think I did see pictures of that.
Frogs and toads.
That'd be really scary.
Jellyfish, worms.
Ugh.
This is crazy.
So obviously there's whole heaps of other types of normal weather, and it's just tweaks to these, I guess. Because that's the way, like, rain happens basically the same way. It gets absorbed into clouds through vapor and then comes down again. So it's just a stronger source of pulling something up, I guess, and dropping it again. That's mental.
Yeah. That was the craziest one I found.
Yeah. I think, what would you rather be in? A hurricane, a tornado, or raining spiders?
A hurricane.
Yeah, I've survived a hurricane already. Wasn't that hard?
Don't say that.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, only like 2 people died in Hurricane Harvey, if that. 6 maybe? I'm not sure.
It was hard. It just wasn't...
It was hard.
It wasn't getting attacked by spiders falling out of the sky.
So do you think... We'll finish this one off with global warming. Do you think it's causing more or worse weather issues? Is it real?
I think it's real. I don't know why. The ice caps are melting.
Okay. Do you think it is human causation, or do you think it's natural cycle?
I mean, we probably don't help it by any means. I was walking on the beach, and like the amount of like microplastic everywhere, and also just normal trash. But like where there used to be seashells, now there's just little pieces of plastic. Like that isn't good.
Yeah, that's true.
So, I mean, we're probably not, like, would it have happened regardless of what we did? Maybe. Are we helping it? No.
Yeah. There is evidence to suggest that the Earth goes through this cycle, but I think we're bringing it on much quicker than it's previously been. Because we've had ice ages before and that sort of stuff. Yeah, this won't be good.
No.
I'll be dead, which I know is not a reason not to think about it, but...
Yeah.
There was just a really interesting picture online of this place in California. It says, we try to look after the environment. We're no longer selling plastic straws or providing plastic straws. And then it's like 3 tiers of like about 6 rows across of just filled with plastic cutlery. Like filled to the brim of plastic cutlery. And I'm like, surely you guys know. It says, I'm like, surely they see the irony here. But it was
They usually don't. That's the thing. Like it's...
Well, the people don't... People feel like they're doing it because someone's telling them to do it, not... They don't think about why they're doing it. Yeah. Weather's crazy.
Yes, it is. Lots of weird
Guys,
things.
so let us know. Send us pictures of anything you've ever been in.
Yeah.
Whether it's crazy hurricanes or fancy lights in the sky or anything we haven't covered.
There was a lot more. I just picked the cool ones.
Yeah, like the ash storm, falling volcanoes. Like it happened in the UK a while back with that fancy one in Iceland that nobody could pronounce. When that went. It said like glow, 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 glow. I can't remember. What else have I heard of?
I don't know.
A whole bunch of them. But weather's cool. Yeah, alright. Well, anything else to add?
I don't think so.
Okay, cool. We are going to leave Shits and Hits today because we've got a whole episode because we've got a lot to catch up on. But Shits and Hits coming next week. But that's about it.
Yep.
I've been Liam.
I'm Kayla.
And this has been MumbleCast.
Bye.
Bye.